Hi guys, you're on Illumination channel. Today I'll tell you how to play President. President is a pretty interesting card game with points. The game is popular in the further east, Europe, and USA. The game is, in my opinion, the game stands out between other card games. The game has no tricks. The game has no card taking, though the game has discard piles, so yeah, it's not very it's not very unique, but I think this game is pretty unique and interesting, so yeah. The game is using a deck of 52 cards, and the game and players can play with jokers, and yeah, with jokers, and the game is played with more than 8 players. Then the game is using two decks, So yeah, and two decks or more. Yeah, two decks. The superiority of cards is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, 2. And if the game is played with jokers, then joker is the strongest card, which means that trees are the weakest cards, while twos without the jokers are the strongest cards. And the game is played with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 players, and you can actually play it with even more players. So yeah, and objective the objective is identical to the objective of the card game Fort, and I actually made a video about that game, so go watch it if you want to. And that means the player who got at least 11 points wins. But 11 is an optional amount of points. It can be less or more points. So yeah. Deal. The dealer is determined by a draw, and the game actually has a specific draw method, and I will show you this method right now. So basically, one of the players grabs the entire deck and then moves it to the right, creating a long line of cards. Each player is getting those cards, and the player with the highest card, with the strongest card, becomes the dealer. So yeah. And so the dealer is giving every player 18 cards if the game is played with 3 players, and and they are giving every card from the deck, and is also giving one card at a time. But you can actually give more than one card at a time. You can give 2 or 3 cards at a time if you want to hurry, or if you want a fast game. So yeah. Alright. Every every player in this example round every card, And after the deal, gameplay starts. And gameplay is the gameplay stands out from other gameplays in other card games, and you'll later understand why. The player, the player, the leftmost player near the dealer is the first player getting cards, and is also the first player putting a card. The player can put any card of their choice, and players clockwise must put a stronger card, but they cannot play an either an equal card or a weaker card. For example, there's a 5 in the middle, and that means players must play at least 6 or any other card except 4 or 4 fours or 3s, because and 5s, because 4s and 3s are weaker than 5, and 5s are identical to the 5 in the middle. So yeah. And the player can put multiple cards of one one ring in one turn, and after that the player creates multiple discard piles, and players must put one card on top of each pile. So yeah, but players can put multiple cards only before creating the discard pile. And basically, they can only put cards first in their first turn. So yeah, if the also the players can put a card of any suit. So suits don't matter in this game. And if the player doesn't have fitting cards, then that player says pass and skips their turn. And the players can say pass even if they're having fitting cards. So yeah. And if each player said pass, then the entire discard pile goes out, which means that every card of that pile will not participate anymore in the game. And and the discard pile will also go out if the strongest card is the most upper card. So yeah. And yeah, so the game is going until there's only one player with cards left. The player that got rid of all their cards gets an advantage, and that advantage being the points. They will get points. So yeah. And the player who wait, sorry, I'll tell you later about that. So basically, the last player with cards is losing, and after that, the the gameplay ends and the point counting begins. But and before that, I need to tell you about the statuses. There are 4 statuses in the game, but in other variations there are more statuses. So yeah, and you can actually create your own statuses. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, the four usual statuses are president, premier, citizen, and citizen and mm, for and poor guy. So yeah. And poor guy. So yeah. The player that got rid of their cards first is becoming a president. The next player that got rid of cards is becoming a premier. The the third player is becoming a citizen, and the player that didn't get rid of all of their cards is becoming a poor guy. And the poor guy is, is becoming a dealer in the next round, and is also giving their strongest card to the president, and the president is giving their weakest card to the poor guy. What it actually can be any other card, other choice. So yeah, and so yeah. Now it's time to tell you about the point counting. The point counting is very simple. President is getting 2 points, Premier is getting 1 point, and other statuses are not giving points. However, if the game is played with more than three is, is played with more players, then the then each status will give one more point. For example, the the president status will give 3 points, the premier status will give 2 points, and the citizen status will give 1 point, and etc. So yeah, and yeah. Also, the the statuses are also changing the placement of players on the surface. For example, so the president is choosing their place on the surface, on the near the table, for example, and each each other player will sit clockwise near the president. Like it basically goes like this. The premier is sitting next after the president. Then after the premier, next one sitting is citizen, and after citizen there is the poor guy, and that's how it works basically. Mm, So yeah, I think. Um, oh yeah, the game is going until there is only one player that didn't got a certain amount of points. So yeah, and other players are winning the game. So yeah. Alright, I think I told you everything about this game. I hope you now know how to play President. I hope you now understand why this game stands out between other card games. And I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. And I'm ending this video right now, so goodbye.